How you doing, everybody? Welcome to my channel. This is You Too Can Be Great. This is the Real Housewives Season 6, Episode 9 review, High Infidelity review. Now, this is Labor Day weekend. So my husband took me on a date yesterday. Movie night, dinner. I was very, very much flattered because it was the sweetest thing he's done. We haven't gotten to do anything since the whole COVID thing hit. So I was very excited. So I went to bed tired as hell. So if I look like this, I just woke up, deal with it, okay? I miss y'all. So let's get into this review. Before I start, by the way, I saw this meme that said, to this holiday, Labor Day weekend, if you don't work, it's not for you. Don't take your ass outside barbecue and go get a Hot Pocket. And I thought that shit was just so funny. But you guys need to go ahead and really enjoy your weekend, your Labor Day. Do whatever you need to do to make you happy. And, you know, gather yourself, go out. You know, I know COVID has been kind of making people depressed, staying at home. If you want to go out, go to the beach, you know, go hiking, do something. I can't do neither because I'm tired all the damn time and out of breath because my stomach keeps growing. But for those of you, I'm going to live vicariously through your ass. So we get into it. Wendy and Eddie. I'm only going to talk about the stuff that's important. Wendy and Eddie. Wendy's now addressing the whole Giselle rumor situation where she knew that the blogs were lying and she felt the need to go and say that shit anyway on the damn TV show because she wanted to do something to keep her ass relevant for money. And she, because she's not married and because when she tries to build her relationship with Jamal or any other person she done picked up from the club, that shit never works out. They keep cheating on her, playing her, so she feels some type of way. So she's gonna use somebody else's marriage and relationship to make herself relevant on the show so people don't talk about her and Jamal as the topic of conversation so she can stop being humiliated yet again by the same man. So Wendy is talking to Eddie. Zen, get your butt back here. Zen, get over there. Sorry, that little dog is so stubborn. So Wendy decides to talk to Eddie, and she said that she was telling Eddie that Giselle had brought up this rumor, and Eddie's like, listen, I haven't done anything to anybody. I'm good to everybody. I think I've been respectful to this woman. I don't know why she would even bring something like this. It's not true, because at the end of the day, we already kind of pour our hearts to them and shared with them all the stuff that we had to go through just to even be with each other. I.e., we had to fight every family member on both our sides, and his family members don't even want to come see their grandkids because they don't want him to be with Wendy. They didn't went through a lot for their love. So when I sabotaged that by going to go and screw with somebody else after fighting so hard to keep this relationship together, what was the purpose of Giselle bringing this on camera when she could have talked to Wendy about it in private or via text message like Robin did before Robin and Giselle discussed the conversation? So of course, Wendy is like, she would never understand why I feel the way that I feel. She don't have a relationship that she even values outside of her children to even understand how I feel. But it was something that I was glad they showed us what Eddie's opinion is and that he held himself well. We know his ass didn't cheat. Now, we get to Robin and Giselle's podcast called Reasonably Shady. They have an episode going on, and the episode is titled Breakup or Makeup. And these two individuals who have unsuccessful relationships are sitting up here talking about cheating in a relationship and what they would do. First of all, none of their advice and none of their comments, none of that is something that I would even want to listen to or even go by. I mean, hell, I could start a podcast, but I think that my advice and my experiences would be far more, what's the word? Educational and reasonable than Giselle's mouth. Because Giselle, to have gone back to Jamal after all those years and after all her father did to advise her that this man is a piece of shit when it comes to relationship with you. I don't care how much of a pastor he is. He got 3 daughters with you and he's still cheating on you. And even though you gave him a second chance, he still cheated on you again because we knew he was going to do that. So do I respect Giselle's decisions when it comes to relationships? No, I don't. And that's a fact. I just don't respect that hoe when it comes to a relationship conversation. I just don't think that she's given me enough proof that her opinions would be valid or even matter in that situation. She says that she looked up statistics, and of course it said when men cheat, do they cheat again? And she said the results came back that 350% the men that cheated before will definitely cheat again. I wanted to add, especially if your ass take them back. This is the problem that people don't seem to understand. There are some situations to where you've been with somebody for a long time, you've been married for a long time, and perhaps y'all just lost connect. You had kids, you had a lot of stuff going on with your job, and then you just lost focus on each other, that maybe one of you slips up and messes up, and you come and you humble yourself and you said, this is what I did, I'm so sorry, let's go to counseling, let's find a way back to each other. I get that concept. But Giselle's concept was, if you went to a strip club and some hoe danced up on you and you just end up having sex with that person, we can get through that. Are you serious? See, this is why I told you I can't take Gizelle's opinions in relationship as anything. Hell no, I don't give a fuck if she's I don't give a damn if she's a stripper or a prostitute or a hooker or any variations of the word, or somebody who would throw their pussy in my husband's face. I don't care. I expect my man to be respectful of me in every situation, so that you understand that you got pussy at home. You don't need to go and jump to the first thing that throws hers in your face. I don't care. Eventually we both get old and you see all this new young things. You need to understand the hard work and the time and the effort that I put into this relationship enough to respect me to keep your dick in your pants. All that idea that's being circulated through social media that all men cheat and it's okay, that's bullshit, because I know women who cheat too. And I think that that's bullshit too. That is not an excuse. That ideology is severely flawed. I'm sorry. I've met men that don't cheat. And not because they can't, and not because they're not enticed to do so. They just have an understanding of what's important in life. So excusing some man from being in a bachelor party and from slipping up, I don't believe that bullshit. If that man knows that he's the type of person that would do that, don't take your ass to the bachelor party. You need to be smart enough and mature enough and wise enough to make the right decisions. If you want to be in plural relationships, okay, make sure it's a decision that you both agree in. If you want to be in an open relationship, okay, make sure it's a decision that both you guys agree with. If you want to be in a polyamorous relationship, okay, make sure it's something that you agree with. But if we're supposed to be in a monogamous relationship, bitch, your ass can go to any stripper and do nothing. I can understand certain extreme situations, but it's case by case. But this excuse that Gizelle gave, hell no. Then Robin pipes in and talks about her cheating situation with Juan. And she said that when she was younger, she knew he was cheating, which a majority of people, statistically speaking, know when their spouse is cheating on them. Because you've been with them so long, you know when their behavior changes. You may just choose to ignore those signs because you just don't want to deal with the pain. And that's what she did. She ignored the signs because she was young and mature, and she thought probably if she just didn't think about it, it just wouldn't bother her. Ultimately, now we see how it is affecting her. Because we saw later on in the season, she's going to bring this shit up. And she's going to say, I just don't want the same things that happened in the past to happen again, because I don't want to be sitting in my bed crying about a man. I mean, it's just everything that they said. It's Gizelle's own opinion was the one I just was like, girl, shut up. Then Gizelle kind of alludes to Jamal cheating on her, which is what Monique and Karen said last season during the reunion, because the production had asked her after she did the whole white men do cheat thing, and Gizelle in her confessional said, well, if I knew these statistics 2 years ago, it would have helped. And when the producers asked her, since 2 years ago it was a relationship with Jamal, would you have done something different? Essentially, she's admitted was that Jamal did cheat on her while those times, which we all knew about it. She now said, oh no, it was a joke. Bitch, that wasn't no damn joke. Gizelle does not want to bare her soul and say that what Monique did and everything that Monique said and everything that was that damn binder was facts, and that she is severely embarrassed and she is hurt and she got cake on egg on her face, and she would hope that people would be supportive of her piss poor ass decision to go back to fucking Jamal. Instead, she lied. Even to producers won't believe that bullshit. Girl, you knew he was cheating on you. Then we get to Candace and Chris Husbanger, their segment. And Candace lets us know that in 2 weeks, she has a music video coming up with the choreography. And she also lets her husband know that Gizelle had brought up to her whether Chris being her manager is him riding on her coattails. And I think that Candace should have never said that to Chris. Because I don't think that Candace is understanding that even though I'm being open with Chris, this is something that's going to come back to bite her in the ass, because obviously Gizelle is not the only one that we can see later on in the season. It's the only one who feels that way. Candace's mom has also mentioned some shit like this. Chris is probably feeling the pressure, like all these females looking at me like I'm some mooch, that I married her to use her. And Gizelle, even though her opinion is irrelevant in anybody's relationship, that is a snake-like comment to putting somebody who is married happily in their mind. Gizelle is very snake-like. Candace repeating this to Chris. Chris is like basically what I'm thinking: hurt people. But I think about it as you supported me as my wife, and I had to support you as my husband. And then of course Candace lets him know about Ashley's pop in and pop out messiness with her milk, where she came in and announced to Wendy what Gizelle and her had talked about Eddie supposedly cheating in the damn blogs and then grabbing her milk and leaving. And Candace called Ashley trash for doing that because Ashley wants to stay relevant on the show. All that is just Everything that Ashley and Giselle are doing is because they want to keep the coins. That's all it is. And it don't matter who they step on. And then Candace, like, everybody says Ashley has changed. No, forehead, you messy. She called her ass forehead. And when she said that, I had to look at Ashley's forehead, like for real, and really see. And she really does have a big ass forehead. I'm sorry, Ashley, but you do. Then we get to Robin talking to her son scene. I'm gonna make this whole thing brief because Robin's scene makes me yawn. But she decides that she wants to talk to her son about possibly going to a life coach because she's been not herself lately since the whole pandemic. And the son asked the same question I asked. Your life ain't together. It's for 42 years old. I looked at my husband like I should let somebody just beat my ass if I'm 42 years old and there's no drug issue, no mental health issue. Like there's no real significant issue that I've gone through in the past that would keep me in a position to where I got to go to my baby and let them know I need a life coach to figure out my life because I don't know what the hell is going on. In my mind, I'm thinking, Robin, you have a relationship that you're engaged to someone. You're going to plan a wedding. You have a family that you're supposed to be raising. You have children. You have grandparents. You have a career that you're building. What happened to your hat business? In my mind, I'm thinking that Robin has a lot that she could be doing to build herself, but she's coming off to me like she's always looking for something wrong. Like she's always looking for another shoe to drop in her relationship. If Juan isn't cheating, somebody's stealing their money or they go broke. I don't know if Robin is content with genuine happiness. But if she wants to go talk to a life coach, I think that that's the best decision for her. If it's going to be helpful, I'm all for it. But I don't know if that's going to be something that will help Robin because I do think that every season that I've seen her on this show, there's always something wrong. And I just don't know what it will take to make her ass happy. Then we got Mia and her mama. Now, this scene was actually particularly, it hurt my feelings when I was watching that shit. Because Mia's concern as the child in the relationship is more so like, why is it that you, my mom, has not been close to me? Why is it that you have not, given me the motherly love? Or even, I know I went to foster care, whatever, but now that you're back in my life, why do I still feel that distance? And the moms lets us know that when she looks at Mia, Mia reminds her of her father, who to her was the Bobby to her Whitney, because the man had introduced her to drugs. Now, and not only that, he was also cheating on her. And not only that, while she was at work, because he was cheating on her, Mia was trying to make herself some food and she burnt herself. Mia admitted that she blocked all the negative things that her father may have done while he was high or on drugs because she wanted to remember him as a good person. But the mom is letting her know all the bad stuff her father had did to her with the one parent that Mia has a good memory of. Meanwhile, Mia's concern is, why, mama, are you treating me this way? And it doesn't seem like she accepted any responsibility for anything. She just pawned all the responsibility off to the father. First of all, I understand that drugs, when you get addicted to drugs, it's an illness. However, when Mia's mom said, well, your father introduced me to drugs, did he forcibly introduce you to it? Like, did he force it on you? Did he inject you with heroin or whatever when you were asleep? What did he do? Because from what I thought she willingly took the drugs, even though somebody brought it to her. There is a choice that Mia's mom made, in my opinion, and she probably didn't make the right one. The problem that I have in this situation, while I am proud of her and her sobriety, you need to acknowledge the pain that you brought to your daughter. Stop putting it off on her father because he ain't on the show. Because I feel like Mia's dad hurt her so much that she's holding on to that and isn't capable of actually expressing the appropriate love to her daughter or her granddaughter, Gigi, who she said she don't want Mia to talk about because Gigi acts just like Mia. Mia acts just like the father that she felt like did all this shit to her. When you choose to be in a relationship with somebody and you choose to have kids with that person, you have to understand both sides. This could not work. I married my husband. I'm having a child with my husband, but I don't know what the future holds. In the event that something crazy happens to where we can't be together, I cannot take out my aggression and anger on the man who pissed me off on our child who I chose to have that's innocent. That part really hurt my feelings when she said that, because I'm like, you're still not, would it be so hard for Mia's mom to say, you know what? I went through a lot with your father. At the time, I wasn't able to see things clearly. I was also on drugs, and I had to really find myself. And the drugs at the time was more important to me than my children because I was an addict. And now that I'm in your life, I'm so sorry for all the pain I caused you. And I would definitely want us to build a better relationship. I want to get to know your husband, your family. I want to be a part of this new life. And regardless of whatever bad attributes your father has, you also have wonderful attributes because you have his genetics as well. Probably the side of him that I fell in love with in the first place and made a baby with. So let's get to know that part and let's build a relationship. But all that pawning off to, it's your dad, he did this, it's your dad, he brought this, it's your dad, he did this, it's your dad. I don't know whether that's not something that you should bring to Mia. That's something that you should bring to that man and tell him all the shit he did to you. So I kind of felt bad for Mia. I almost felt like she was the mature one in this situation for trying to forgive a behavior that somebody's supposed to be able to be a parent. That's still the parent. She's still the child, even though she's grown. There's something about that scene that just it didn't sit well with me. Y'all tell me what you think about that scene. I was kind of hurt for Mia because of the stuff that she was saying. Now we got lunch with Candace and Chris, and their conversation that Giselle said to Candace about Chris possibly riding her coattails now comes back to bite Candace in the ass for telling him, because now they're talking and he tells her that on her music video time, he's got to go do his cooking classes because he's got to go make his own money. And Candace gets mad, saying that you haven't even been there personally to any of my little bookings or any of my things. You just do the background stuff and you disappear on the day of when I'm stressing out and need your ass to be there. And he's making a list of everybody else that's not him that will be there, that he doesn't need to be there as a manager. He volunteered to be a manager. He's not being paid, so he's going to go get money elsewhere. Candace, I understand why she's upset and why she wants her husband, but Chris is now on TV and Giselle is already brought it up that he's basically riding her coattails, and she's not going to be the only one. As a man who's married, you don't want to look like a bum on TV, so he's going to let us know where he's making his money. I got my cooking classes, girl. I can't just be up under you and ask you for allowance and ask you for money. I got to be able to make my own money. I got my ego here, so I'm going to go get money even while you're doing your show. Candace, of course, is offended, and she has every right to be. I would have been mad too, but I mean, Chris got his, he's got his pride. That's why I said I don't think Candace should have ever mentioned that to him, because I know that Candace's mom is also saying that type of shit. And after a while, he's gonna start feeling emasculated by it, and he's gonna react. So Candace is trying not to cuss him out, saying he has an attitude, but girl, some things you just don't need to be saying. I mean, I feel bad for Chris, but I mean, I understand where he's coming from. At the same time, Candace, if he's being your manager for free, you ain't paying him. I mean, he got to get money from somewhere. Anyway, he walks out on her and she ends up with the bill. I almost feel like he may have done that on purpose so she can't pay for the bill. Hell, who knows? Because the cooking class ain't for another couple of days. He still needs to make that money. Anyway, we got Robin's birthday lunch. And of course, Wendy and Karen were not invited because, first of all, Giselle was the one who sent out the invitation. And of course, she ain't going to invite Karen because she wants to be the Karen of the group. She came in this lunch thing wearing a Karen wig anyway, trying to look like she's the one that's going to be the advisor of the group of bitch. Don't nobody want to take advice from you. Then Wendy is not invited because Giselle made us some stupid ass excuse like, oh, well, I gave her the opening to come and have a private conversation with me. Why the fuck would Wendy want to have a private conversation with somebody who brought up a fake blog about her husband cheating on national television to try and get some money and make a thing out of it by embarrassing me? Why would I want to speak to you? We don't have anything else to talk about. Girl, we don't need to fix nothing. You want me to help you feel good about your bad decisions, bitch? I'm not going to do that. But that's what Wendy's going to do. And we had Escala. That's what Giselle's going to do. I mean, we had Escala come in looking beautiful. We had Candace coming in saying she got unfinished business with her husband, Jer. We got Ashley walking in with her, forehead and stuff like that. We got Robin coming in after the fact, looking like a disco ball, and they're asking Robin about why Wendy was not here. I don't understand why Giselle didn't invite Karen for Robin's birthday, because Karen doesn't seem to have a personal problem with Robin. Giselle, that was all you, bitch. Then with Wendy, Robin says something like, well, I don't feel like her apology was genuine. I don't feel like Wendy should have apologized to you at all, Robin. You got what you got because you inserted yourself in a conversation that had nothing to do with you, number one. Number two, Robin, the only reason you're holding a grudge against Wendy is because your bestie, who you always got your face up her ass, Giselle, is mad at Wendy, and you're going to find whatever excuse you can find to make Wendy an outcast, just like y'all tried to do with Monique, until Giselle and Wendy decide to make up. Then you want to act like you forgave her too. Bitch, bye. I see right through your little fake ass. So they're about to eat, and then of course, Candace ain't feeling Ashley. She ain't been feeling Ashley since Ashley decided to write a little character statement for Monique. So Ashley's sitting there and they're asking Ashley, did she add a little bit of flavor to the conversation when she was talking to Wendy? Ashley said, no, I did not. I usually admit to my mess, but I wouldn't be messy. I was genuinely just telling her what, you know, or asking her why all this change is happening. Is her husband and her basically not fucking her? Ashley, out of all of us in the previous scenes, you can tell she's the one that's having a problem in her marriage about sex. Because her husband has shown a pattern of cheating on her whenever she's carrying a child or whenever her asshole is ripped, and he can't get into that. So Ashley, why would you go to somebody else in their marriage? It's none of your business what's going on with it. Trying to ask her about her husband fucking her. Girl, bye, you were being messy. So Candace basically lets her know that she brought her white ass to the cabin or to the little retreat, whatever trip they're doing, Williamsburg, to cause a mess, where her little milkmaid ass brought it there, caused a mess, and then left right after. She's only there for all of 4 fucking hours. She's gonna cause some issues and dip out. So Candace ain't having it for her. And of course, Ashley's body weight right now, since she just had a baby, is something that she's self-conscious about. Candace knew what she was doing because they had the whole body shaming thing come back. If you body shaming me, bitch, she's trying to cuss you out because she don't like you. I don't like when people do that. When I'm mad at somebody, I'm going to say whatever I need to say to get you back, to make you feel the frustration and the pain I feel. I don't give a damn about your body, but if that's what I'm going to say to get you mad, that's what I'm going to do. I don't give a damn about what you do in your private life, but if I have to dig and say something I know will hurt you, and in an argument, that's what I'm going to do. So all that, oh, you're body shaming me, this bitch, bye. Ashley, you did fuck up her little thing. You came over there, started a mess about on her little gathering, get-together, girls trip thing that she was having fun in. You deserve all this that she's giving you, girl. You are being messy. And you do have a big ass forehead. Okay, you guys have a good rest of your day. Enjoy Labor Day weekend, and I will see you next time.